Hey guys, Verreal sent me the newest board to review. This is the Verreal F1 electric skateboard. It took 15 days to ship to Canada and arrived in a box that was pretty beat up. Luckily, nothing inside was damaged. Inside the box came with a remote and charging cable, a 1.5 amp charger, a bunch of business cards, 2 spare replaceable urethane wheels with a complete set of screws and tool, and the electric skateboard with a 4 amp hour battery. The specs of this board are very similar to other budget boards, but with a few differences. We'll start with our similarities. A water-resistant ESC with an external antenna, dual 90mm 250-watt hub motors. The truck's front wheels and 3-speed remote are the same as Wildgo and onboard. 17-pound weight, 30 km/h top speed, 17 km range in slow mode, and up to a 30-degree hill climb. There are a few things that make this board different from the others. One is how Verreal replaces the urethane wheels. Unlike other boards that replace just the urethane, they do it by replacing half the motor, which includes the urethane. The advantages of this are reduced vibrations and no need to grease the urethane to avoid noise. The disadvantage is the cost of $30 more per wheel. The next difference is the battery case that allows for higher ground clearance without raising the deck. It is much thinner than other cases and houses both the battery and the speed controller. The speed controller is physically the same as other recent budget boards, but the battery is now 1 cell high, unlike the 2-cell stack on other boards. This allows for the use of a thinner cast aluminum case. Swapping the battery is not so easy. The Phillips head screws used can be prone to stripping, and trying to line up the screws without cross-threading them can be a bit of a challenge, because they thread directly into the case. I would have preferred some hex head screws. Another thing I didn't like about the all-in-one case is the weight distribution. All the weight is on the rear of the board, and this makes it very awkward to carry, and I'll likely just drag it along instead of trying to carry it. Thankfully, I don't feel the imbalance when riding. On a side note, while inspecting the internal hardware, I noticed one of the hall sensor connector pins had not been fully seated into the connector, and this was probably just an isolated incident, and was easily fixed in a few seconds. The last difference is the 7-ply Canadian maple deck. It has a W concave which can help increase grip by following the curvature of your feet. It also features a micro drop, which gives more confidence when accelerating and stopping quickly. The board is also quite flexy. It is the flexiest deck I have and should offer a much smoother ride. Coming from a Meepo version 1, the remote is much better. The sliding switch to change direction is better than the button, so no more accidental direction changes. The throttle wheel is also better because it has a longer throw for more precision. It's also physically larger for more comfort, and the 4 LED battery indicator is also quite handy. Also, it vibrates when you press any of the buttons and when the batteries get low. On my first range test, I was able to go about 12 kilometers while weighing in at about 180 pounds. During this test, I was full throttle most of the time, and voltage sag started to sink in at about 8 kilometers. The board rides really nice. The Flexi deck offers much more comfort compared to my Meepo version 1. The ESC accelerates up to 38 kilometers nice and smooth, and there are no jerky actions when trying to accelerate over rocks and cracks. Braking is a little bit strong. At some points I can feel the rear wheels start to lock up, but I got used to the brakes after one ride and actually appreciate during panic stops. There are 2 features I wish the ESC had that the Meepo version 1 has: push to turn on and hill hold, or stop and hold. I did notice a feature that was not mentioned, and that is when the remote loses signal or is turned off, the board will apply the brakes, preventing it from running away. Overall, I think this is a great budget board to consider. The flexible concave deck and slim battery housing is what really separates itself from the others. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.